What's up, beautiful people? Thank you for tuning into my 12th beat making video, and this is what we'll be making today.
Chillin' on the beat.
If you're here purely because of the title of the video, you can skip to around here. Just mind you, the title of the video says how I sold my first beat, not how to sell your first beat, alright? So I'm not really telling you instructions on how to do it. I'm just telling you what happened to me. It only happened to me once so far, so I'm not really the best person to tell you how to do it yourself, okay? But you may hear my story. Alright, without further ado, let's get into this video. So I think I'm going to start by showing you the kick pattern again. I think it's a really cool kick pattern, and just to let you know, this is one of the beats that I sold. Alright, so I'll just show you the kick sound first. This is one of them. I layered two different sounds, and just to show you what a big difference it makes when you layer more than one sound. Alright, so this is the first kick, and this is the two kicks together. Right, same for the claps. I layered two different snares or claps together. One is a snare and the other one is a clap. Alright, so I'll just play you the kick pattern and the snare pattern together first of all. So it's a nice little bouncy vibe. Let's add the side stick. Alright, let's add the open hat. Another side stick. Okay, then we've got a triangle. Right, we've got another perk. Alright. And usually, well, in the last video, if you've seen me, I like to drop basically every 8 bars with either a crash or like a big sound, usually a crash. This time I decided to go for something a little bit less dramatic, like a cheering crowd. Or you might think cheering crowd does sound dramatic, but I kind of made it quiet, so anyway. And there is a crash, but it's a very mild one, so here it is together. Right, now, so let's add a bass to that drum pattern, and this time for the bass I decided to layer it as well, which I usually don't. Basically, to have a nice mix, you need to have a good low end, and I know a really good bass for the low end, but this time in the beat I also wanted to actually hear what the melody in the bass was. So I not really needed the low end, but that mid-range. I know two separate basses that do each job well, so I mixed them together for that. So I've got this one for the low end, which I usually use from the ES2. I've totally cut out the EQ here, right? So you can totally see that I've cut out all the highs, and I'm literally just getting that boomy bass from it. And it's especially felt if you're using headphones. Right, so if anyone's enjoying music on good speakers or headphones, you will only pretty much hear this bass on those devices. You won't hear it on your phone. So for your phone, for the actual melody, this is the bass that I used. And here it's totally opposite. I've cut out all the lows and a little bit of the highs as well, because I've got lots of highs in my drum loop. right? So you only literally have that mid-range, and together it sounds pretty sick. Once again, you'll only be able to tell if you're listening on headphones. You know, when you hear the whole track at the end, you'll only hear it if you're on good speakers or headphones. I layered 3 different sounds with the chords. One main one is this one. Right, so it's that type of, you know, really plucky or malletty sound rather, yeah? So that's one from Serum. And all the layers together sound like this, very full, one to the left, one to the right. You know, I love doing my panning, and here we go. And my second melody is, I've fallen in love with this instrument that I found in Serum. It's so good for melodies, I don't know, I love it. It's my new favorite other than the flute, right? There is no flute in this beat. And it sounds like this. Right, I don't know if you like it, but I really love it. And it sounds even better when you're here playing it yourself. And this is the melody that I played it. And one more melody for the break. Right, so I guess it's time for... Alright, so how I sold my first beat. Simple answer is Instagram, alright? I don't think I will find any buyers for any of my beats on YouTube for a while. YouTube is kind of my, you know, long-term game, right? It's for the long run. Instagram is for networking with everybody. So if you're on there and you're doing your thing, don't give up with Instagram. Keep going, because that's where I found my buyer. How I'm doing it really is partly how I'm trying to grow my followers right now, right? So shout out to RMC Beats right here. Check out his Instagram. I did a session with him, you know, for 30 bucks for an hour, and it's well worth it, right? It's the first time I ever spent my money on coaching with anybody for anything. But that man told me some really cool things that I didn't think of before, and literally within, you know, if anybody's been following me on Instagram for a while, they can see that I went from about 200 followers, which took me, you know, like 6 months to get, to 400 now in about a week. And I found a buyer as well. So really check him out and send him a message or something. Yeah, so, you know, one of the things he told me to do is anytime, you know, somebody big or somebody that you like, you know, that you follow on Instagram makes a post, go to every single person that made a comment, you know, go to every single person that left a comment, which could be hundreds, but you have to do the hard work every time they do it, and not just one person, every time. Go to that guy's account that left a comment and give them some love, all right? Check out what they're doing, like a few posts, leave a comment, all right? Make sure it's genuine though. Don't just say lit, leave fire comments everywhere, okay? That's not genuine. You actually want to see what this person is all about, because, right, I'm following Lakey, as I'm sure loads of people do, and I went through all the comments there, and I went to this guy's page, and I noticed he's a car salesman. But one of the most interesting things I found is that he said something in Chinese in his bio. So I was like, okay, maybe this guy speaks Chinese or is learning it, so maybe leave a kind message on one of the cars he's selling. Right, so I left him a message in Chinese, as a comment on one of the cars that he's selling. And then literally within 10 minutes, the guy gets back to me. He DMs me and he's like, yo, how much for this beat, right? He links a beat, one of my beats in the message. How much for this beat? And then he sends me another message 2 minutes later and he's like, yo, how much for this one as well? So 2 of my beats, he's literally, and he seems very serious, right? He's a guy that's maybe 30, I don't know, I don't want to guess. But anyway, he's not a teenager with no money. So, I mean, at first, this is my first time to receive such a message, and I kind of went loose for a bit. I was like, what do I do? What do I do? How much do I charge? I don't know anything about it. And then one guy, he told me, well, first of all, don't undersell yourself. And then he told me the price list that he does. And I did that. I said, okay, if you want an MP3 lease, this is how much this is. If you want a wave release, this is how much this is. If you want to buy it outright, this is how much that is. And he let me know that he wanted just to lease it, not to buy it. And I was like, I don't care. This is the first buyer. Okay, you want to lease it, you lease it. It means I can sell it again. So just for him, I said, I'm going to put it on BeatStars for you. I haven't used BeatStars before. I put it up for him, and you know, he kept his word. He's like, yo, I'm going to buy it as soon as it's on BeatStars, and he did. Right? In the morning, I wake up, I get a notification on my email that said, congratulations, Vladimir Zhilin. You just, I don't know what the message said. I'll link it, I'll show it here anyway. I was so happy, my first beat. So, I mean, if anyone's doing this kind of game on Instagram and trying to find more followers and contacting people, keep doing it, okay? Alright, I think you have to do it for a long time before you have a significant amount of followers, like 10,000 or something, and then people start coming to you. But for now, grind it out and don't underestimate anyone. As I said, this guy, like, if you just land on his page for no reason, just a car salesman, right? How do you know he's a rapper or something like that? You don't. The reason I left a message is because he is commenting on Lakey's content, which means that he does like beat makers, he likes music, and that's something I do as well, so I thought he might check me out if I leave him lots of love. Alright guys, I hope this helps. I rambled on for too much, I'm not sure. Does this make up for it? Alright, enjoy the final beat. Peace.
Chillin' on the beat. Chillin' on the beat.